Hey everyone, welcome to Lowdown, your source for music, art, and entertainment in the Akron area and beyond. I'm Tanner Martin, and let's get right into it. For our first feature, we're going to be showing some concert highlights shot on 16mm film of the Michael Weber Show live at Rockin' on the River in Lorain, Ohio. Let's roll the film.
Shake! Give it up for Jimmy Suggs!
It's always great to have this high energy band featured on this show. Stick around, Lowdown will be right back after this. Hey, welcome back. Up next, we've got a brand new segment hosted by our team member Davion called Late Night Local Talent. Let's check it out.
Alright everybody, welcome to Late Night Local Talent. My name is Davion and I have with me local rapper Easy. What's going on, Easy?
What's good, man? How you been?
Alright, I've been good. So first I want you to start off by telling me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about like where you're from and just, common things.
Yeah, man. Grew up all over the country. Mainly raised in Vegas. That's where the LV comes from in my name.
Okay, Vegas.
Yeah. I was born in Maple. I was born in Maple Heights, and we moved out of there when I was about 4.
Oh, 4? And then y'all moved right to Vegas and stuff?
We moved to Vegas, and then, we went to Atlanta, Orlando, back to Vegas.
So you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
So with you being everywhere like that, what made you choose Akron?
When I got back, I was in high school in Columbus. So there I was back in Ohio. I was back around people I grew up with, going back home. So, when I was looking at colleges and stuff like that, I was looking at where my parents went. My mom went to Kent, actually. My dad went here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
he used to stay at Quaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your major?
PR.
PR, public relations. Okay.
Yeah. So it was like my original plan was to try to learn how to market myself, because not a lot of people know how to do that.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of industry. So it's like, everybody's always going to ask for help. I want to kind of do it myself.
Right, and then exactly, especially with you being like a rapper and stuff, I think PR is probably like the best thing for you, because then you can advocate for your own self when it comes to things. So, what was your inspiration to start music?
Growing up, the one consistent I had was music. I kind of got my rap influence from my dad, and then I got the R&B side from my mom. Everyone went, they was blasting music, their own tapes, Beyonce, Tupac, Kanye, all that stuff. So, you move around, there's not a lot of consistency. So music kind of like takes me back to certain moments in time. So I get to, I'll hear a song from like when I was like in 6th grade, and like it pops up in memory in my head. So, music's kind of like some stability to me.
Yeah, stability. Okay, so speaking and building on top of that, when do you feel like you create your best work?
I feel like I'm best when I'm alone, isolated, because I get in my own head a lot. So there's a lot of things that, I end up saying out loud and stuff, and then it'll be stuff that, sticks, so I end up writing it down. So a lot of stuff is like, I gotta fail in private, but, shine in public,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a slow grind type thing, I guess.
Yeah, and then isolation, it definitely can help you, like, just build more off of your own thoughts, especially as an artist. I feel like that's important. I think I hear a lot of artists talk about that, like, they just like to have that their own kind of like zone going on. Yeah, okay,
it's
that's
like a
what's
Zen
up.
mode type.
Okay, so that's what's up. That's what's up. So, what is your plan? Like, so what do you want to do after music?
After music, if everything goes the way I want it, planned in my head, here's hoping. I kind of wanted to, in all honesty, I kind of wanted to do some charities.
Oh, charity.
Yeah, I wasn't really, kind of involved in giving back to stuff like that, community outreach and stuff like that. I kind of did it a little bit in high school. I played football. We help out with the community and stuff like that. But, I've seen a lot of things in a lot of different situations, everywhere I went. So it's kind of like, I kind of want to look out for the little guy.
Right, you want to give back. And stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's good that you got that kind of mindset, because a lot of people don't have that kind of mindset. So, like, when you come from humble beginnings and kind of help you when you do make it up there, you can want to get back. So, if music doesn't work out, what's your plan B?
I always like radios. I always like the idea of like a radio station or something like that. So I was like, going into a PR career or something like that, I could probably go be like the dude that's reaching out to agents and stuff like that, trying to get people on the show, talk numbers and all that stuff like that.
You joined our radio station, got a radio station at the school.
Yeah.
I actually was a DJ too. My freshman year coming here, so last year.
Word.
Yeah, I was one of the DJs on the radio station. Definitely check it out.
DJ, man, you should have told me, man.
Told me. All right, so do you feel like, well, you from a lot of places though, but do you feel like that you get the support that you want from your city? Like, do you feel like you get a lot of support from your city?
Well, the thing is, I'm unknown. So, I mean, I grew up in Cleveland when I was 4, and I'd be back for little short stints and stuff like that throughout the years. I actually went to Orange for like about 3 months. I had to learn trumpet.
So you just was everywhere.
It was like 5th grade. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Hated it. It was the worst 3 months ever. Nah, but I mean, I'm not known, so I mean, the more and more I tap in, though, I feel like I can connect more. But it's gonna take time.
Yeah, that's what it take time, and like that's why I said like don't, and even like with that being said, like don't even let like you might not being not known and things like that like stop you. Like as long as you keep on working, you keep putting yourself out there and stuff and reaching out, you gonna get to being known, and then that's when more people in shoot. Sometimes you might realize like me, I even be feeling like myself not known. I be going somewhere places and they be like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Oh, you know me," So like you might think that you might not be known, but then it's a lot of people that know you, and you just might not know them.
Yeah, I've actually met like 2 fans.
Oh, really?
Like in public. It was because I started making music back in high school because everybody was making music, SoundCloud rappers, stuff like that. But it was like, I think I went to another high school for a track meet, and they saw my face on my SoundCloud page. It was like, "You Young Easy, right?" I said,
How that make you feel, like knowing that somebody that you like, you don't have no idea who they is, but they know you? Like, how does that make you feel?
It was definitely a surprise because I wasn't expecting, and plus it was on the other side of the city too. So I was like, how did it even make it up here? So I'm like, I mean, it was kind of like maybe like there's a hope for it. It starts off being the people you know. So.
Okay, so my other question is like, who are your top 3 influences? Like when it comes to music, who are your top 3 music influences?
Probably, I look at for like lyricism and stuff like that. I like stuff with a message. So probably like right now, J. Cole, Kendrick. Those are the top 2, and then for the third, it's not really like. It's really just those 2. Those are like my kind of like my muses type. Okay. Like I listen to their music to like get me to thinking on a deeper level, like lyrically and wordplay and stuff like that.
Okay, so I was about to just ask you too. Why are they your top 3? Yeah. So that's really the main reason, like the lyrics and things like that.
It's like the wordplay and like how clever they are with stuff they come up with, flows and stuff like that. I admire that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was what I kind of clinged on to like early when I started doing it, because I was listening to some of my old stuff I found in my emails and stuff like that a couple hours ago, and I was like, I need to get back to this. Yeah,
you trying to bring that real music, that lyrics and
flows and all that stuff like that. I've been trying to get back in that mode though.
All right, so I guess bring it back to even like the first kind of questions I asked you. What motivates you to create music, like even now?
It's the creativity behind it. It's like me personally, I'm kind of an antisocial type of person when I'm out in public. I'm not a party. I'm chilling. So I'm not trying to be in everybody's face and stuff like that. So I guess the creativity is kind of like a voice. It's kind of like your voice without you speaking. I'll say. So I mean, stuff like that. You know, it's a different outlet. So I use it as kind of like the voice that I'd use on a regular basis.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so before we end this, I want you to tell me more about this new song you have coming out.
Oh yeah, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made that with actually made that with somebody. I did the talent show last year.
Oh.
For Dip the Melanin.
Oh, okay.
Coming back up again in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you gonna be in there?
Oh no,
You might as well.
Somebody's trying to convince me to do it.
You might as well. I'm telling you, shoot, you might as well. Like that could be even you said it that like you want to get more known. You know?
Yeah, I feel like I got snubbed last year. I feel like I got snubbed. I should have. I was walking away. I was in there with the mindset. I'm walking away with something. I'm walking away with something. But yeah, no. The dude I made it with, Rose, he was in the talent show too.
Okay.
And like I said, a lot of people actually trying to collaborate right now with artwork from that talent show. It's people my people's new. So I mean, yeah, it was cool. It was you know, it was on Christmas Day actually, because my plane froze, the engine froze when I went to go back home, so I had to end up going back home.
I think I saw you post something about that too. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of them little small jet planes. Man, they boarded us up and they said. We was in there for like an hour and a half, freezing. They talk about so the engine froze. We have to like get y'all off. They talk about all my connecting flights done cut through and everything. It was during that storm. It was bad.
Crazy.
But yeah, ended up going up to where he stepped Cleveland, and yeah, we was I had this song that I read a while ago, and I heard him. He was recording in there. He got his studio in his room. So like, sent it to him. I showed him like what I had and stuff like that. He just kind of went to work.
Okay.
And then after that, it was like, I don't know.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
History.
I like how it came out though.
Okay, well, he said he liked how it came out, and y'all about to see how it came out too. So again, thank you, Easy, for coming up, and y'all about to hear my boy Easy with his song "I Was Wrong" with his boy Rose. All right, thanks for coming to Late Night Local Talent.
Like I'm using them wrong. Used to be showing the love, but you know they tripping, I already know. Now it's 100 to 1, and like they would've said done it for sure. I just get the bad, don't do no love no more. Man, these hoes be tripping, I don't love them now. I just spent the bag and now I want some more. I'm the type to put in work like I ain't got a soul.
RCK, they know it's me. At least they notice me. She want me to be around.
Be sure to keep looking for more features of Late Night Local Talent. Lowdown will be right back after this. Hey everyone, for our last segment today, we're going to be featuring an award-winning professor here at the University of Akron. Let's see what he's been up to.
I'm Dave Szalay. I'm a professor here in the graphic design department at the University of Akron, and this is going into my 19th year here as a teacher. I was not sure what I was going into when I first came into undergraduate school. I was actually interested in the sciences, but I found out about the graphic design commercial side of art, and that I found very interesting, advertising and logo design. And so I had a family friend who was a corporate designer at Goodyear, and I got to tour the facility there and find out what it's like to work as a graphic designer, and that's when I chose my major and chose that direction. But I had been an artist, I guess, for as long as I can remember. I've been drawing and always had a pretty good talent for creating things. So even though I wasn't planning on doing it for a career, I ended up going that way. I think it really has taken me decades basically to figure out what I really like to do, what my passion is. And I think my passion in illustrating comes from the fact that I really love storytelling. All methods of storytelling, from movies to books. I have always gravitated towards that, and I think that's why I started drawing in the first place when I was a little kid. So because I'm an educator, it gives me the flexibility to focus on research in whatever I'm interested in. And so I really gravitated towards illustration early on, but I couldn't figure out a way to survive on it, so I went into design, but my heart was really in illustration. So fast forward a long time, when I became a published illustrator, at least in books, then I decided that I can kind of make a go at it. I had all the skills and techniques that you need to be a picture book illustrator, but I just never thought of it as a career path. Most of my illustration before that would have been in advertising and marketing, but I was already successful in that. I just felt like this was a new way for me to refresh my career and kind of regenerate teaching. It was stuff that I was familiar with, but I really buckled down on it when I went to graduate school and got my MFA in illustration, and that kind of gave me a springboard of a network to make connections in the illustration world. So it's the most comfortable part of my career that I've had. It feels really natural. When I was in graduate school, I met a few people who had been, they were professors, but they were retired from the children's book industry. And and I had a couple classmates that had published books already. I will say that I had a librarian when I was in 3rd grade who introduced me to picture books. And I had trouble reading when I was young, so picture books were sort of a pathway for me to learn to read better. And I had a couple cases where I think a picture book helped me almost not only learn about art, but learn about the way that stories are told, the traditions that the stories are told. And in fact, even when I was in my undergraduate school, I wrote a letter to Dr. Seuss, who was still alive at the time, and I sent a letter and thanked him for his books that helped me learn at a very early age to read and gain some confidence. And I also liked the fact that he didn't draw for realism. His characters were very expressive and unique, and he wrote me back and on his letterhead, and I still have that framed and hanging in my design studio. And I told him in the letter that someday I would like to be able to create books that would help other children learn to read and appreciate stories. So it took me almost 25 years to follow up on that, but I did. I think had I started teaching earlier in life, I probably would have a longer teaching career, but this year I'll have been working professionally for 39 years. So it's gonna be time for me to dial it back a little bit. And I'm going to have to pick what my focus is. I think that I can work on children's books pretty much for the rest of my life. Teaching, I'd like to have my hand in teaching forever as well, but I might need to dial that back a little bit. So my goal ultimately is to reach a point in my career where I can take teaching down to a more manageable level that isn't, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of time to do it right. And so later in life, I would like to actually get some of my books that I write, my stories, my original stories, and also illustrate them. So my next level is to become an author illustrator. Because I have my foot in the door in the publishing world, I'm on my 6th book, but there are other people's stories. I'd like to write my own stories and have those illustrated. But I have like a bunch of those in works right now, and I have an editor that I'm working with. So I think that will happen fairly soon, within the next year or two. The key right now is because a lot of my time and effort goes into teaching, I have to keep my foot on the brakes of getting into too much extra work outside of teaching. So right now I'm trying to keep it manageable, and perhaps later on I might open that gateway up a little bit and do some more editorial stuff. But I do think if I do get some of my books, my stories published, I think that'll be plenty to keep me busy. There's a lot of very active published authors and illustrators that are working well into their 80s. Because they love it so much, it doesn't feel like work. So it's not something that you are anxious to retire from necessarily.
And that'll do it for us today on Lowdown. If you want to check out more of us, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, all at ZTV Lowdown. I'm Tanner, good night, and that's The Lowdown.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.